All right, friends, in studio with us, I want to introduce to you two of my favorite people because they made me say that. Two of my favorites with Hatch Realty, buyer specialist extraordinaire. Also, I think the modern day property brothers in Fargo. Is that right? So we have Tyler and Nick with Hatch Realty. So good morning, guys.
Morning. Hey, thanks for having us.
You bet. Be sure to talk into the microphone there.
Thanks for having us.
Here it is. Back the second time around. Tyler, I want to start with you. Give us an introduction. Where are you from? How did you end up in Fargo? And what is your expertise with Hatch Realty?
So my name is Tyler Lindell from Grafton, North Dakota. So I actually, when I graduated from high school, I went to a Bible school in the cities known as Ave S, which is a free Lutheran Bible school. From there, I went to NDSU, studied elementary education, taught for a year, and then went to a career night and met you.
Oh, well, I feel like you're name dropping all of a sudden.
I am name dropping.
So from Grafton down to Minneapolis, back up to Fargo, and then you worked in the public school system. And I've seen you with kids. You're great. You're energetic. You're full of life. But that wasn't necessarily the best way to take care of your family, right?
Exactly. No. So my wife is a preschool teacher as well, and she's a full-time preschool teacher. So I mean that goes through the summer actually. So there's no break, none of that stuff. So we figured with her always doing that, I'd pick up some type of gig as well. And then I figured, well, when I came to the career night, that'd be a great transition. So.
And you've been with Hatch Realty for how long now, Tyler?
Oh gosh, probably close to 2 years.
Yeah, it's coming up, and you have hit massive success. Folks, if you're listening and you don't know Tyler, you should want to, because what's happened with him is he started off as support for another agent and did exceptionally well. And now we've given him free reign and a runway, and dude is flying. Like, Tyler, you're having so much success. How is it that you have experienced such a massive amount of transactions and impacting the lives of your clients so quickly?
So for me, I didn't really know what I was going to be doing, stepping into different roles and taking on different tasks. But I wanted to jump on into it, so I did a lot of open houses right away. And more or less, my goal was never to necessarily be, and I don't consider myself a salesman by any tactics either. My main focus is to just assist people and help educate people, and that's kind of what we're going to be talking about today as well.
Right on. And so we'll swing it over to your wingman here, Mr. Nick Eisenzimmer.
Yeah,
Nick, where are you from? How'd you end up here with Hatch Realty?
From Fargo here. It's kind of like moved everywhere. So I've actually been here for 22 years in West Fargo. And I went to M State for college, got my 2-year degree for business and sales. I was creeping on Indeed.com, and that's where I came upon Hatch Realty. I creeped on all of your workers there, which wasn't as many back then, about 2 years ago, and I applied for the front desk, and that was my foot in the door.
Now, Nick, you had no desire to work the front desk long term, right? This was it was your short term stop to get your foot in the door to earn your right to have that next seat.
Yeah, it definitely was. I learned a lot of great things along the way working up front, but yeah, that was not the intention for being there for a long time.
And so now you're partnered with Tyler. What does that look like?
Yeah, so me and Tyler are partners. He does more of the negotiations. He does some showing still because he's a busy man running around. But I'm going to assist him in a lot of inspections, final walkthroughs, and a lot of the showings as well for some of our clients.
So I always like to think of it as a doctor and nurse relationship, right? Tyler, if you're the doctor, Nick, you're the nurse. So the doctor sometimes does a little more of the detailed, fine tooth comb pieces that are requiring a little more preciseness and experience, where you're, Nick, basing more on, you're getting a little more FaceTime with people, making sure that you both care deeply about the relationship, but Nick, you're there to assist the everyday, and Tyler, you're there to do some of the heavy lifting. Is that an accurate explanation?
Yeah, definitely. I think he is even more in touch and more in person with a lot of his clients because he just likes having that interaction with them, still not feeling left out. But yeah, I would say for the most part, yeah, I'm more of the face-to-face doing the showings, and he's the detail kind of behind-the-scenes guy as well.
Folks, I want to give you some perspective on Tyler and Nick here of Hatch Realty. The average realtor in the United States sells between 8 and 10 homes a year. Nick and Tyler together, the two of you sold how many houses last month? Because I think you ended up closing, it was like 15 transactions, isn't that right?
Yeah, gosh, last month, I I honestly
You
don't
had
even
you had
know
your
the
best. It's all a blur. You had your best month ever, though.
Yeah.
And congratulations to that, and the best is yet to come. Why we have you in studio today is not just to talk about your resumes, but you two are doing something really special on Facebook. You've been dubbed the Property Brothers of our town, and you've been dubbed, I think, the Backstreet Boys of Hatch Realty.
Oh, goodness.
This is totally great. But tell the listening audience and introduce to us, what is it that you're doing, and how can they learn more about it?
So, I mean, right away, me and Nick were kind of talking one day about what is the next step that we need to do. What is the level of awareness that we need to create for not only us, but the Fargo-Moorhead area, and how do we educate them? So we were going back and forth, and I told Nick, hey, come up with a name that we can kind of roll with, and then we'll see where we go. And Nick said your neighborhood, and basically the whole background of this is to get out and show the different buyers in the FM area locations, prices, and basically the homes that you can get for what price. And yeah, Nick, maybe you can elaborate a little bit more on that.
No, that's about all I had.
All right, that's it.
So you two are making videos together, and you're doing this weekly. Is that right? Is that about the rhythm?
Yep. So it's Thursdays at 11 o'clock. Nick keeps me accountable to every single thing in my life now. So
Well, thank you, Nick, for being Tyler's brains and brawn. What it comes down to is you're going live on Facebook every week, right?
correct. Yep.
And you're going to different houses in different neighborhoods, highlighting the features, the differences that they would see from one neighborhood to the next.
Yep.
But Tyler, you're a recent homeowner. I mean, it's always great when a realtor can have that experience of going through it recently. Mm-hmm. You ended up in what neighborhood, and what are those features that really draw you to it?
Well, I shouldn't say I ended up. My wife ended up making me go somewhere.
Wow. I hope she's not listening. That sounded very aggressive.
She'll listen. No, I love my wife. So essentially, we looked at probably 12 to 15 homes, mm-hmm. and we actually put offers on 4 homes and lost.
Oh my gosh.
And so we finally found this one, and essentially it was the house in price that we loved, and we didn't really know about the location, but we ended up actually loving the location. We're by Horace Mann Elementary.
I used to live by Horace Mann Elementary, and I agree that location, the tree-lined streets, the character of the houses is really hard to beat.
Yep. No, we love it, and I don't foresee a change for at least a couple years still. So
okay, well, I hope you move next year, because
sounds good.
that's the best kind of client and friend to have, is somebody who moves every couple of years.
Exactly. Yeah.
And Nick, you are in a committed. How do you say, like, you're not engaged yet, but you should be? What's the nice way to say that?
Legally, like we are, with 8 years, I think. Something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Your middle school sweetheart now, your high school sweetheart, and now your adult sweetheart. When you two eventually buy a house, what kind of neighborhood do you see yourself in, and what kind of advice can you give the listening audience for where they should consider or what they should look for?
Yeah, I mean, I think it just really all depends on what you're wanting. If you're wanting at a place, it's an established area, or if you're wanting a new build. And it kind of depends on, some of those older neighborhoods with the established areas don't have as big of specials in prices as those new builds you're going to get. I mean, there are some perks of the new build as well, with like a tax abatement. You don't have to pay property taxes for 2 years.
Sure.
But yeah, it kind of all just comes down to what you're wanting for price, and like how much square footage you can get in a house and a lot size. So there's a lot of different factors going into it.
So I think that the best thing we can tell the people who are listening right now is, if you are looking to buy, the neighborhood you want and the features are always going to be unique to you, right?
Yes, definitely.
And I think that the folks listening would be served extremely well by the two of you. And so, gang, if you're interested in talking to Tyler or Nick, check out Your Neighborhood on Facebook. Easy to find. Otherwise, go to livefargomoorhead.com and track down these wonderful gentlemen. Guys, thanks for serving our clients so well, and our community also. Folks, we're going to go to break. Head to livefargomoorhead.com right now and find out what your home is worth. This is Real Estate Radio with Erik Hatch.